Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay from Sony Alpha Lab, and what I got here is the Sony RX10. It's a really high quality point and shoot. It has a Carl Zeiss lens on it, and it has the 1-inch Exmor R sensor inside, the same sensor that's inside the RX100 as a matter of fact, same sensor. And so with that smaller 1-inch sensor, this camera is able to have a 24 to 200 millimeter equivalent lens to the 35 millimeter format, but it's a constant f2.8 aperture, and that's what's so special about it. Constant f2.8 all the way at 200 millimeter. That's remarkable, and it basically creates awesome image quality. I mean, it's a Zeiss lens, and it has the T coating, top quality optics basically in front of the awesome 1-inch sensor that's in the RX100 So with that, you get a decent amount of zoom. It's 8.4x zoom, 24 to 200. So it's not like, 1200 millimeter or 50x or anything like that. But for everyday use, it's a really good amount. I mean, you can zoom in for portraits. You could zoom out for landscapes, And honestly, the focal range is extremely usable in my opinion. I'm having a blast using this camera. I've been using it for a couple days now, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm just telling you, I have so much fun using it. You just point and shoot and the image comes out great, and you could zoom in and take a different shot or change your comp real easy. You don't have to change the lens. The lens doesn't come off. So the convenience factor is huge. What that boils down to is it makes it more fun to use, in my opinion. Now, I just got done using the A7. This camera is more fun to use than the A7 for me. I'm recording with the A7 right now, and that's an awesome camera, don't get me wrong, but you have to change the lenses, you got to physically zoom in and out and stuff like that. This is just so much easier, and the image quality is so good that you don't mind, you're like, yeah, well, I'm just going to zoom in. But like when you see the images, you're like, wow. So again, it's a give and a take. The larger full frame sensor is obviously better, but the camera's a little harder to use. So it depends what you're looking for in your photography. If you're just looking for a point and shoot that's easy to use but has superior image quality to pretty much every other point and shoot on the market, well, you're going to want to look at one of these. It's about $1,300. It's called the Sony RX10. This lens is ridiculous how good this lens is. Wait till you see the image quality coming off this. It's very, very impressive. Corner to corner, sharp. So anyways, let me just go over this camera real quick. It's got a couple of pretty cool features I wanted to show you. One of them is on the bottom here. Right here you have an on and off switch, and that's basically for the aperture. You can make the aperture so it clicks. Right now it's clicking, and you can turn that off so it doesn't click. So if you want to change the aperture in video, like to make the background blurry and then come sharp, you could do that on the fly, and it's not going to affect your video. That's f16 all the way down to f2.8. So this thing really excels in video. It's incredible. It has active mode on it, which adds another layer of stabilization. It's like sensor stabilization kind of. So in combination with the optical steady shot, your video comes out like butter. Like when you hold the camera, as soon as you start recording, it just goes like, and like it doesn't make a noise, but you could see it just like smooths out. It's amazing when you hit the record button, you look on the screen and you're like, oh my gosh, it just smooths out like that active steady shot. It really is impressive. And it's like another addition to the optical steady shot. So it makes a big difference when it comes to recording smooth video, especially when you're zooming in and out or when you're zoomed into 200 millimeter, because when you're zoomed in that far, camera shake becomes more of an issue. So it really helps with that. Oh, okay. Very cool.
Another line.
Also, the zoom, you can zoom it with the ring itself by turning it, or you can zoom with this lever here. And it zooms a little faster in photography than it does when you're recording video. When you record video, the zoom is really slow and like perfectly smooth. It's like butter. It's really nice. Another thing about this, the screen also articulates pretty much how you would want it, like this and down. It does not go all the way up and around, like this way. But it goes to here, which is pretty good. So you can shoot, looking down pretty easily. Also, it's got the built-in flash up top right here, and the flash is pretty effective. I took some test shots with it. It works pretty good. So it's nice that it's built in. Another pretty interesting thing about this camera is it has the LCD screen, and that's a nice feature, especially at nighttime. If you don't want to use the big screen, you can look at this little screen, and it has a light, so you can see it in the dark. A really nice feature. I like that. It also has an exposure comp, a manual exposure comp dial here, which I like. And it has a couple of custom buttons and stuff. So also the OLED viewfinder is very high quality. It's high resolution. So when you look through it, you know, it looks great. It looks just like the Nex 6 or the A7 for that matter. As far as I can tell, it looks about the same when you look through. That's pretty much it for the, you know, overview of the Sony RX10. So now I'm just going to spin the camera around again, and I'm going to do some focus tests because this thing's claimed to be focusing super fast. It has an SSM focus motor in here, supersonic focus motor, which is, you know, the best stuff Sony has. So the focus is lightning fast, they claim, and I want to show you, you know, just do some focus tests here on the table with the camera spun around, so you can see, like, you know, firsthand how fast it actually focuses. And, you know, you'll see the focus throw, because when you're at 200 millimeters zoomed in, the focus has a long way to go to find the sharp spot, you know, especially if you're focusing really close to something versus something far away. So you'll be able to see that. You know, I'll use the Christmas tree and a couple of things on the table. Alright guys, so check this out. I got the RX10 in front of us here, and I got my test chart set up so it has something to focus on. You know, I had the Christmas trees in the background there. So right now I'm zoomed all the way out at 24 millimeter. Just showing you how fast the focus is. I'm using the center focus, by the way. Alright, so if you go into the function menu here, you can just hit this button, the function button, and then that's the focus area button. You can go in there, and I have center selected. Alright, so that's how I'm focusing. Now I'm just going to zoom in, and there it is, focusing on that. Now I'm going to pan to the right and focus on this lens. See that? So that's how long it takes. It's pretty fast. Focus on the tree. So that's a pretty good focus test, and I'm in low light, so the auto, let's see what the ISO is on. It says auto ISO 3200. So the light's pretty low. I have the lens set to f2.8, just so you know. That's what the aperture is on for this focus test. All right, so it's pretty fast. I'm impressed. Hey guys, what's happening? I'm on f2.8. I got plus 0.3 exposure compensation, and I'm just going to zoom straight in here on this gas pump. See how the camera performs. I am hand holding. That's pretty darn exceptional if you ask me. Zoom out a little bit. Some birdies. The zoom is really smooth on this. Let's see if it's variable. Looks like it's just one speed. But I have the aperture set here. I want to show you. I'm on f2.8 right now, and I have the aperture set to non-click mode, so I should be able to change the aperture on the fly here, and the exposure should automatically adjust, and it is. So now I'm at f16. You can see the background, the detail in the background. I'll zoom in a little more. Alright, so now watch the background sharpen up a bit. See that? I'm just changing from f16, right? I'm at f16 now, and I'm scrolling it, the aperture to f2.8. That's pretty cool. We'll zoom out. And the zoom is very smooth. It seems very consistent. I'll do some more tests, obviously. This was just a quick test here. I just got the camera, and right off the bat, that's very impressive if you ask me. So we'll touch base, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Take care.